Hello, YouTube. I have been seriously MIA. I hope that I'm in focus here. I was going to try to upload a video and look cute and all of that, and yeah, the only times I can record typically are times where I haven't really had a lot of time for myself, so I thought I would just make a video regardless. So I'm so sorry for being gone. I don't really have any very good excuses, lots of little ones, but I do have kind of an update and then some big news to share, as the title suggests. Hopefully, this is right. I hope that's better. Um, so, if you're following me or you're a subscriber to my channel because of Natalie, my pregnancy vlogs, Natalie's updates, and I also have an older child who is turning 8, my Samuel. They are both doing really, really well. Natalie is 10 months old, she'll be 1 in February, and Sam will be 8 in February. And Natalie actually started walking, which was amazing. She took her first set of steps on December the 12th. Yeah, 12/12. And at 10 months old, which was really exciting. I was also 10 months old when I walked. My son was a little bit older than that. So we were really excited. My husband and Sam and myself, we all got to see her take those first set of steps. I think it was like 6 in a row. And that was really, really awesome. So I will do my best to do a Natalie update. I've just been really crappy and just kind of inconsistent with vlogging in general. Sorry, I'm going to make sure I don't hear her crying. Okay. I have my monitor over there. So, every time I say I'm going to do an update on her, I don't. The last one, I think she was like 7 months old, and it was just a clip of her in her crib being cute. So much has changed since then. It's very clear that she's almost 1. She looks and acts like a 1-year-old, really. I'll be uploading a clip right after this video, so you might see that of her walking. So besides that kind of condensed update on the kids, I also made weight loss videos, and I've just been a total flake with that. So if you've subscribed to me because of weight loss videos, solely because of them, I apologize for being a flake. I did, however, do my first 5K in October, and I've actually not gained any weight since I started trying to lose weight. I am about 4 or 5 pounds less than my last update. So I haven't made any real progress, but I haven't regressed or anything. So, I wish it was better, but it's not awful, and I'm okay with that, I guess. So on to the big news. If anyone's even watching this video, I'm sure you're like, what is the news? If you're anything like me, I'm like, no, can you share the big news first and then talk about all the other stuff second? So I'm sorry to keep you waiting if you're interested. So you know how it goes on YouTube with typically mom vloggers, family vloggers. Whenever there's big news, it's usually someone starting a new channel, or they're getting married if they're not already married, or they're pregnant. But I have a 10-month-old, so being pregnant, no, right? Yeah, you probably guessed it just from the title alone. I am pregnant and I am very, very happy, but I am still in shock. And I'm just going to be really straightforward here because I always have been with my videos. It was not planned. It was not expected. It was kind of the shock of a lifetime, which is sort of funny because I was a really young mom, as some of you might know. With my first child, I was really young, so you would think that would be the shock of a lifetime. But this was pretty shocking. This was, I just didn't expect it. Let me make sure that I'm recording before I ramble on too much more. Okay, I am. You're in my bathroom cabinet. That's probably a really funny view for you. I think I just showed you my dirty cabinet that I never open. It's kind of gross. Sorry. Again, keeping it real over here on this channel, right? So I'm pregnant. The details are I am 12 weeks pregnant, so I'm kind of far. I've only known I found out at almost 7 weeks pregnant, 7 weeks along. So I'm 12 weeks. I'm due July the 14th, which will make this baby and Natalie, will be my middle child, which is weird, 18 months apart. And then Sam, of course, will be 8.5. So I don't want to come across like I'm not happy about being pregnant, but even at 12 weeks, even with now knowing for the past full month and a little bit more, I'm still just like, is this real life? I still can't believe it. So I'm going to give like a condensed version of how everything happened. I was on the mini pill because I was breastfeeding. And when I stopped breastfeeding in October, which is kind of a separate thing, I switched over to the regular pill that has estrogen and progesterone. And I just switched over, like literally one day, just started taking those pills. Well, little did I know, when you're on the mini pill, you would think it would be obvious, especially for someone like me that has kids and all this. When you're on the mini pill, you're only protected for like 24 hours at a time. So I thought, okay, I'm on birth control and I'm switching to another birth control, so I'm covered. But really, what you're supposed to do is use a backup method for the first month that you're on that next form of birth control. But honestly, first of all, like I said, I didn't even think about it because I was already on the pill. And then secondly, I didn't get pregnant easily with Natalie. That's part of the reason why I even kind of got into the YouTube thing. So, and I also had no regular cycle. So I just really thought getting pregnant was out of the question. In fact, as some of you know that have been following me, I've really kind of had this desire come up out of really nowhere since having Natalie, of really wanting a third child. I think I just said really like 5 times. I'm sorry. But I've just had it kind of heavy on my heart that I really want to have a third child. I was thinking, a year and a half from now. And I also remember kind of thinking, okay, whenever I decide to get pregnant, it could take a significant amount of time. So never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be in this situation of having an unplanned surprise pregnancy. So part of it I just see as a gift, and it's so cool because there's very few things in life that come as complete surprises, and it's another little person that I'm gonna love and feel the way that I feel about the kids that I already have, and that's awesome. And the other part of me is totally terrified because having kids 18 months apart is just not something that I ever really considered for myself. I just never had interest in having 2 kids in diapers, or, double the daycare, or like one goes to college and the next year the next one goes to college. I just always thought a little bit more of an age gap was what I wanted for our family. And then of course with Sam and Natalie, we have this giant age gap. And I didn't want that again, but I did want like 2 years at least. So, life doesn't always work that way. And again, I don't want to come across like I'm not happy, because I really am. I'm already in love with this little baby just from seeing a flickering heartbeat. And, I haven't had cramping, I haven't had bleeding, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. And of course, there could still be a problem. I'm just now 12 weeks and I haven't, tomorrow is my doctor's appointment where I'll see the baby. That's going to be formed and looking like a baby. So once I see that, I think it will become more real. And I'm already, like I was saying, already in love. So yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about was kind of how I found out. Let me see what the time is on this real quick. Try not to show you my dirty cabinet again. Oh, now I'm showing you my belly. You guys are just so lucky. Chubby belly, dirty cabinets, all kinds of little gems. Okay. Come on, camera. I have you propped up here. Really funny. Sorry. I'm not very professional. Okay. So I'm going to keep talking while I do this. How I found out. So I went out of town and had like a girls weekend. How the heck did I have this the first time? Really sorry, guys. Went out of town. I had a girls trip. Came back in town. Hopefully you can still see me. I came back in town, and that night I had night sweats. And the following day, I was bringing my son to school early in the morning, obviously. And I just had this feeling like, oh, if I don't eat something soon, I'm gonna get sick. Nothing serious, nothing like that. And then that continued for days, like 3, 4, 5 days. The night sweats and that weird nausea. So one day I was at the store, and it did kind of come into my mind, just like a really, subconscious sort of thing, like I should just get some tests just to have pregnancy tests, just to have around. And then I didn't. I was like, I'm not going to waste my money. Again, I don't have a regular cycle. I don't think I can conceive easily. And I'm taking the pill every single day. And we're not wanting to conceive just yet. So I didn't buy the test. Couple days, continue on. And this is very unlike me because, when I wanted to have a baby, Natalie, taking pregnancy tests, it's like an addiction, so it's very unlike me how this all happened. Anyway, so how I finally found out, I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place, was I went to this dollar store that I don't really go to hardly ever, and they sell pregnancy tests there for $1 a piece. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a few. And I had Natalie with me, and I was a little bit embarrassed. I don't know, it's kind of stupid, but I was a little embarrassed to like have a baby with me and then be buying pregnancy tests. And the store is kind of like a little, it's not like a very nice store, a little sketchy kind of place, I guess. So I felt sort of weird about it. And then I ended up seeing someone that I knew there, my friend's husband, and I thought that he saw my pregnancy test. And I don't know if you've ever had anything like that happen, but basically the reason I'm even mentioning seeing him at the store was because seeing him there, it kind of made me realize what I was doing, and it made me kind of second guess myself. And so I remember so clearly getting in the car with the test and the baby and thinking, oh my God, this is so stupid. I just wasted a small amount of money, but I just kind of threw that out the window is how I felt. And then my friend's husband probably saw the test, and he thinks probably that I think I'm pregnant, and I know I'm not even pregnant. So not only am I wasting time and money, but now this other person probably knows. Come to find out, he actually didn't know. But anyway, so I get home and I'm like, oh my God, I just gonna take it. I just need to see it be negative so I can just move on, right? I had no sore boobs. I had some spotting a few weeks prior. I know I said I haven't had any bleeding, but that was really early on is what I'm talking about. And so I put Natalie in her playpen, which is like right outside this door, and I take the test. It's one of these dollar tests. And it wasn't even like 8 seconds, and 2 lines popped up, and I doubt that you can see that very well. I don't know if it will focus or not, but there are definitely 2 lines there. And I am telling you guys, I had what felt like an out-of-body experience. That may be a little bit dramatic of a way to say it, but whoops, sorry. It felt like an out-of-body experience because I just looked at Natalie, and then I looked at the test, and honestly, you know how tests have the test line and the control line. The test line is the one that says you're pregnant or not, obviously. And I keep saying the same words over and over again, I'm sorry. And the test line is the closest one to where you put in your sample. And so I know that, but when I saw the test line come up so quick, I'm talking 8 seconds, seriously, I thought in my head, I interpreted as that's the control line, So then when the second line popped up, which was the control line, I was like, oh my God. But really, the test line had already come up. So I ran to the store and I got a Clearblue test that says how pregnant or not pregnant digitally. And then it also says how many weeks you are. I've never taken one of those. And it came up pregnant, and then I had to wait forever. And it finally said 3+ weeks, which is 5+ weeks. And so that kind of scared me even more because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have no idea how pregnant I am. I just called my doctor's office, and they were really nice. They got me in. They don't usually do very early ultrasounds. I think usually you're between like 9 and 12 weeks. And because I had no idea how pregnant I was, because I hadn't had normal cycles, and they had called in the birth control for me, they knew it was unplanned. They let me do an ultrasound, and at that date, the baby was 6 weeks and 5 days, and there was a heartbeat and everything, like I mentioned before. And definitely in that moment, it became as real as it could have been. I felt really guilty for not knowing until almost 7 weeks, because like with Natalie, I was barely 4 weeks. I was, 15 days past ovulation or something like that. And the only reason I was 15 days past ovulation instead of like 9 or 10 was because I was out of town and had no tests with me. So that was with Natalie's pregnancy. So with this pregnancy, not knowing till 7 weeks was just weird. Anyway, I just had so many mixed feelings, and now I feel really happy. I mean, all of my family knows. It's definitely been hard. I've had a lot of nausea, and more than anything, just emotional roller coaster sort of feeling. I've had a lot of support from most people, but I have had some kind of harsh reactions. And I don't want to spend too much of my energy on that negativity, but that was hard. That was hard to feel judged, I guess, or to feel like other people think you're being irresponsible in some way. Um, Regardless of their argument, it hurts. So I'll leave that at that. So it's just been emotional, as you can probably tell. But at the same time, I go to sleep every night knowing that I'm going to have a third child, and the love that I have for my own kids, at the risk of sounding incredibly cheesy, is just going to grow even more into this next person. And that is a gift that is beyond anything I could ever imagine. So, yeah, so that's it. I will do my best to be better about making videos. I honestly don't even want to make promises because I just feel so bad that I haven't been good about it. I've watched so many vloggers for years now, and I always thought I loved keeping up with them. I still keep up with them even when I don't upload. And I always thought uploading a video or two a month is just no problem. But yeah, it's kind of harder than it seems if you're not good at planning it out, sort of. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening, and let me know how you're doing. I still watch all of your videos, and I'll try to be more involved in the community because I really miss it. All right, bye.